Hello everyone, my name is H.D. Lalin, a student of Mizoram University studying MBA second semester. In this video, we will be discussing about the research onion and research methodology. Now let us take a look at the philosophies. We have three different kinds of philosophies in research onion. Number 1, philosophy of ontology. This philosophy makes you aware of the nature of reality. You ask yourself different questions while using this research method. You try to find out how the world operates. It also makes you learn the process of the construction of the society. It also helps you in knowing how society impacts our surrounding. In other words, ontology clears the difference between reality and how you perceive reality. Furthermore, it makes you learn how to influence the behavior of the people. Mainly, three philosophical positions come under the ontological worldview. Those are objectivism, constructivism, and pragmatism. Number 2, we have philosophy of epistemology. Next research onion philosophy is the epistemology. It tries to find out the acceptable knowledge and addresses the facts according to that. Here, you have to define the acceptable knowledge about the field of your research. It also must for you to give information you require after rigorous testing. You use epistemology mostly for the scientific research purposes. It is like that because it helps you in finding the information that you can prove without a doubt. Positivism, critical realism, and interpretism are the philosophical positions related with epistemology. You can learn to get an in-depth of the epistemology. Last, we have agiology. Agiology helps you how valuables and opinions impact the collection and analysis of your research. Here you don't have to eliminate or balance the impact of it. Understanding the research onion. The research onion model was presented by Saunders, Lewis, and Thornhill in their book titled Research Methods for Business Students. This model aims to explain the different stages of writing a dissertation to help students create a better organized methodology. The below research onion model symbolically illustrates the ways in which different elements involved in the research could be examined to develop the final research design. Moving on to the research onion layers. The research onion consists of 6 main layers such as philosophies, approaches, strategies, choices, time horizons, techniques, and procedures. First layer of the research onion. Now you are aware of the 3 much needed philosophies of the research onion. Now let's move on to learn about the layer of 1 of the onion. In this layer, you can find the philosophical stances associated with philosophies. Here you have to give appropriate thought to every possibility at this level. It is because it gives you the structure, guidance, and possible limitation to follow decisions. You can also get aware of the ways of gathering and analyzing information to come up with a fine research. First layer of the research onion is philosophical instance. Under philosophical instance, we have positivism. Positivism comes up with such research questions and hypotheses that you can test. With positivism, you can find the explanations measuring the accepted knowledge of the world. Realism. Realism says that you can revise every theory. It further explains that you cannot find the reality without continuous research. Realism says that you don't need to hesitate in using new methods of research. Interpretivism helps you in interpreting how people participate in the social and cultural life. In other words, you can learn what people understand about their own and other actions. Thus, we have pragmatism. Constructivism and objectivism are the ideal ways to conduct a research. In the views of pragmatism, you can also judge a topic from both or one viewpoints about the impact of the social actors. In the second layer of the research onion, we have approaches. This layer includes deductive and inductive in the research onion. Here, previous levels may influence the decision that makes on the current level. It is a must for you to discover your research and main limitations. Now let us look at deductive. In the deductive method, your aim is to find the answer to the questions that you have at the start of the research. Your primary objective states to come up with the yes or no answer in the response to the research questions. Your research questions may vary from statements to informed speculation. In the deductive process, you scan the theories of the research question. It further leads you to gather data and ultimately the confirmation or rejection of the question. You can do the revision of the theory. Moreover, you can often start the process again. Inductive. If you want to create your own theory, then you use the inductive method. So this point in the research onion works in the opposite way of the deductive method. To put it technically, here you have to focus on the working title of the theory right from the start. It means you don't need to give a thought to an existing theory. The hierarchy of the research runs from the research questions to observations. Next come the observation, description, analysis, and you come up with your own theory in the end. Hence, it is better for you to use inductive method for the research if your research requirements are not big. Third layer of the research onion is strategies. In the third layer of the onion, you use a research style to gather and analyze data like grounded theory are the choice. Every choice has its benefits and limitations, thus it is a must for you to give a thought through each of it. Furthermore, you should explain and balance the choice well in the work. In the third layer, the first one is experiment. Experimental design, very scientific and complex in their structure. It may make it tough for others to replicate your research. Experimental designs test the causal effects of the phenomena on a group of people. Survey. Survey is one of the finest and economical research strategy. It allows you to gather huge data to answer the who, what, where, when, and how of your research. Case study. Case study design helps you in doing a study on one or more people. You can use the same to do research on real-life cases. Action research. Action research is the method in the research onion that tries to find out and solve a problem or an issue. Grounded theory. Here you build theory after predicting and explaining the behavior with the use of the inductive methods. You collect the data through observation, make predictions and theories. Finally, you test the prediction. Ethnography. Ethnography is the approach that allows you to study others in detached way, but to research using this method, you have to stay in the community or situation. Last one is archival research. Here you do research with the use of the archive, documents, and existing information. Archival research allows you to explore and explain the changes happening over a long span of time. You can also do a descriptive analysis of it. The fourth layer of the research onion is choices. In this layer, you discover the ways to use quantitative and qualitative methods for the research purposes. Here, you ensure whether both methods are ideal to use or one is fine. Furthermore, you also decide whether one method more than other or the frequency will stay equal. We can use three types of methods according to the fourth layer of the research onion. Number one, mono methods. In the mono method, you gather only one type of information from qualitative and quantitative. You may have to do it due to the demands of the philosophical choices and use strategies may also demand it. You can also use this method to research on the opposing view that exists in the mono method. Next, we have mixed methods. Next method is the fourth layer of the research onion is mixed method. It allows you to both use qualitative and quantitative methods for the study purposes. You can also use the same together as well as analyze the data. It is possible when you combine both these methods, you can offset the limits of this method. You can find and fill the gaps in the information easily. Last, we have multi-methods. Multi-methods helps you in researching with the use of the qualitative as well as quantitative information. However, your focus stays on the one source only. This way, you analyze both types of data but with the same point of view. Fifth layer of the research onion is time horizon methods. Time horizon has two time horizon methods. First is cross-sectional that you can use to conduct a short time study. Another one is longitudinal that you use while doing a long-term study. Cross-sectional, you can use qualitative and quantitative research in the cross-sectional method. It may help you in observing the behavior of a group of people or an aspect. You can also use the same method to do study on an individual at one point of time. Number 2, we have longitudinal. Longitudinal method also gives you to use qualitative and quantitative research methods, but you can use this method to study behavior and events with focused samples over a longer time. Sixth layer of the research onion is techniques and procedures. This layer of research onion gives you a fine idea of the practicalities of data collection and analysis. Here you have to make a decision of which data may prove the best for your research. Moreover, you also have to discover the analysis you have to use to find the desired results. In this layer, data collection and analysis method is used. In this method, you decide the questionnaire content and sample groups. You also give a thought to the questions you will ask in the interviews and many other things. It is a must for you to make sure that all the decisions and tools you use sync with the philosophies. You must keep in mind for the philosophical stances, strategies and choices and time horizons. It may help you reach the valid research. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.